life, the nightingale and the rose. Death is a great price to pay for a red rose, cried the nightingale. I have enjoyed life, but love is better than life. She said, I will dance with you if you bring me a red rose, cried the student. But there are no red roses in my garden. I have studied everything that wise men have written, but my life is unhappy because I have no red rose. His eyes filled with tears. But the nightingale heard him from an old tree. Here at last is a true lover, said Nightingale. I have sung with true love night after night, and I have never seen a true lover. We dance at the palace tomorrow, said the student. The prince will be there, and my love will be there too. If I bring her red rose, she will dance with me. If I bring her red rose, I will hold her in my arms. And no red roses in my garden, so I will sit alone. She will not need me, and her heart will break. Yes, it is a true lover, like the lovers in songs, said Nightingale. Love is happiness to me, but is pain to him. Love is a wonderful thing. Gold and jewels can never buy it. Student cried. The musician will play, and I love to dance to the music. With men in their foreign clothes will crowd around her. They will not dance with me, because I cannot give you a red rose. He lay down to the grass, hid his face in his hand, and cried. Why is he crying? Asked the animals in the garden. Why is he crying? Asked the flowers. Is he crying for a red rose? Said the Nightingale. For a red rose? They cried. They laughed. The Nightingale understood. She opened her brown wings and flew up in the air. She passed across the garden like shadow. A beautiful grass tree standing in the center of another garden. When she saw it, she flew down to it. Give me a red rose, she cried, and I will sing you my sweetest song. I am sorry, said the rose tree. My roses are white, as white as snow. Go to my brother on the other side of the garden. Perhaps he will give you what you want. So the Nightingale flew to the other rose tree. Give me a red rose, she cried, and I will sing you my sweetest song. I am sorry, answered the rose tree. My roses are yellow, golden yellow. Let's go to my brother and grows below the student's window. Perhaps he will give you what you want. The Nightingale flew to the rose tree that had grown below the student's window. Give me a red rose, she cried, and I will sing you my sweetest song. My roses are red, he answered, but the winter cold has frozen my flowers and they have fallen. I will have no roses this year. But I only want one red rose, cried Nightingale. Only one red rose. How can I get it? That's the way, answered the tree. But I did not want to tell you about it. Tell me the way, please, said Nightingale. I am not afraid. If you want the red rose, said the tree, you must play the autumn music by moonlight. The redness must come to your heart blood. It must sing to me all night with your heart pressed against the phone. The phone must cut open your heart, and your lifeblood must run into me and become mine. Death is a great price to pay for a red rose, cried Nightingale. I enjoy life. I love sitting with trees and watching the lotus sun go down. I love smelling the flowers. And love is better than life. And the heart of man is more important than the heart of the bird. So she opened her brown wings and flew up in the air. She passed the other garden and didn't was still lying in the grass. Tears were not yet dry in his eyes. Be happy, cried the Nightingale. You will have your red rose. I will be lit of music by moonlight, and I will give my hot blood for its redness. We must be a true lover, because love is the wisest and strongest thing. The student looked up from the grass and listened. He could not understand what the Nightingale was saying. He only knew things that were in the books. The old tree laughed at the Nightingale, and she understood. Sing me one love song, he said. I shall be sad when alone, let me go. So the Nightingale sang to the old tree. Her voice was like drops of water falling from the silver cup. When she finished her song, the student took out a book. Her voice is beautiful, but the song does not mean anything. It's not very useful because she had no true feelings. She used to think only from music, not about other people. I went to his room, lay under his bed, and thought about his love. After time, he fell asleep. When the moon shone in the sky, the Nightingale flew to the rose tree. She pressed herself against the phone. She sang all night, and the cold moon listened. All through the long night she sang. The phone was deeper and deeper, and the red blood ran out to her. First she sang about the birth of love in the heart of a boy and a girl. And a wonderful rose grew on the highest part of the rose tree. As song followed song, the rose opened. At first it was white as clouds on the river, as still as the wings in the early morning. The rose tree cried to the Nightingale. Press closer against the phone, little Nightingale. A rose must be red before daylight. So the Nightingale pressed closer, and the song began louder. Now she sang about the birth of love in the heart of the man and the woman. The rose became red. But the heart of the rose stayed white. Only the heart of the Nightingale can color the heart of the rose. The rose tree cried to the Nightingale. Press closer against the phone, little Nightingale. On the day will come before the rose is red. So Nightingale pressed closer against the phone. The phone cut to her heart, and pain shot through her. As the pain began worse, her song began wilder. Now she sang with love, which is made perfect by death. The rose became deep red. The heart of the rose was as red as the jewel. The Nightingale's voice became weaker and weaker. Her little wings stopped moving. Her eyes lost their brightness. She sang love's wonderful song. The moon heard it and waited in the sky. The red rose heard it and opened wide to the cold moony air. Look, look, cried the rose tree. The rose is red now. Gale didn't answer, because she was lying dead in the long grass with the phone in her heart. At midday, the student opened his window and looked out. Ah, he cried, here is a red rose. It is exactly what I wanted. I have never seen a rose as beautiful as this. It probably had a long Latin name. He put out his hand and took it. Then he put in his hand and ran to the doctor's house with a rose in his hand. The doctor was the student teacher, and the student loved the doctor's daughter. She was sitting at the door, and the dog was lying to her feet. You wanted me to bring you a red rose, cried the student. Here is the reddest rose in the world. You can wear it tonight next to your heart, and we come down together, and you will know how I love you. I'm sorry, said the crow. I did not go for to color my dress. An officer handed me some real jewels. Everyone knows that jewels cost more than flowers. Thank you very much, said the student angrily. You are very kind. They threw the rose into the street. You cannot speak to me like that, said the crow. Who are you? I'm the student. She got off from the chair and went to the house. Love is a very silly thing, said the student as he walked away. It has those things which are not going to happen. We believe things which are not true. It is useless. In this difficult time, we must learn useful things. I shall go back to my studies. So he went on to his room, took out a big old book, and began to read.